Aiden, why is it such an issue for me to express myself on my Twitter, and you're telling people that I need to be detained and shit like that? Like, I talk exactly like people talk online, except for I'm a celebrity, because I don't have to worry about getting dropped. The final get dropped was Shopify, and they took their backing away. But you'll play stuff with people killing each other and doing drugs and all this like destructive behavior all day. That's why I'm pressing y'all so much.
Isn't it clear I don't give a
Do it again.
It's your boy.
Enjoy.
It was good. I think it's very satisfying that the Kanye interview came out, just to start off this video so you know where I'm coming from off rip. But basically there was a Kanye interview with Akademiks, and I think this was a good interview because Akademiks asked a lot of like questions that people actually wanted to ask, or just made stuff easier to understand, as opposed to like other media outlets probably coming at him in just a bad way, like that's not gonna make things understandable pretty much. So I think he asked good questions, and there's basically like this Kanye interview with Akademiks that dropped recently where Kanye's wearing this crazy black outfit that kind of looks like, and yeah, I just want to go over some like key points of the interview and give my reaction and my recap. I think the first thing, just to get out the way, is I think he mentioned Carti, Playboi Carti, leaving him off the album, and like Carti in general. And I remember, I'm just gonna, based on my memory of the things that he said, I think he called Carti an agent of the Matrix or something like that. And it's just like, I don't know, I'm starting off with this, but it's just like, it's so crazy, bro. If you look at my channel, bro, I don't know if I'm just like, if he I don't think he already said this. I don't think he said this already. So it's just like the fact that I have a whole video breaking this down, exactly what he was saying about Carti. And it's like nothing really against Carti. It's more so like, if you're just trying to use somebody as an example in the industry right now, it's like if we're talking about Spanish music, you'll probably use like Bad Bunny or whoever the fuck is at the top of Spanish music. But we're just talking about rap and numbers and stats, then that's where Carti comes into play. So yeah, I made a whole video about this. Like, he was already a big artist, but you can just tell he's kind of like on the rise a little bit more, and like the people around him and shit like that, and like just being pushed more in terms of like competition and shit like that when it just comes to rap. But it's just like, as you get to that next point, and this is like random as fuck, but like Post Malone, it's like low-key, it's always like a threshold where niggas like start becoming too industry low-key, like, and I feel like Carti's like hitting that point, like he's becoming too industry and like just too like, they just way too invested into the idea now, to where it's like kind of corny, like, as opposed to him being just more like creative on his own. But it's hard to explain, because I feel like I was like a really big Post Malone fan when he first came out, and then he started getting into industry, and I was just like, damn, like he kind of fell off, like in my eyes, because like his shit was kind of better before like the industry start taking over, and like start, you know, his numbers just start going crazy and everything. And then, you know, I don't know, but for rap, it's more political, it seems like, you know, especially like within the black community and shit. But basically in that video, I was literally breaking down how Carti could kind of be used as like a tool to like promote the wrong agenda. And I was talking about the 555 thing a lot, how X was doing a lot of that, but he wasn't trying to promote the same agenda, and then he was killed, you know what I'm saying? And then now Kanye West is calling Carti an agent of the Matrix. Kanye is saying he's a red pill guy and Carti's a blue pill guy, and I guess what he meant by that was like Kanye would probably care about more of the deeper meanings behind shit. I mean, he could just be saying that because he already kind of up, he already has his money or whatever, but he's basically just saying like he's more focused on the deeper level shit than just the industry and money, and doing what would, you know, catapult his career more, because he already catapulted his career. He already kind of feels like he's the boss of everything, so he's not really trying to push an agenda or kind of work for the Matrix or work for the people who's really in charge of the labels, you know what I'm saying? Carti, on the other hand, would lean into that and would do certain things to get an edge, so that way, you know, he can catapult his career more, pretty much. But I think if like, basically, if Carti and Kanye was on the same exact level, he's basically saying like Carti would choose the route of just trying to appeal to more people in the labels to get further rather than being like red pill of I'm gonna try to take the most genuine route possible. And he also said that he got on by taking the genuine route. So it's like it's not like a complete mystery thing on what the genuine route is and like stuff like that. So I understood that part a lot. I don't want to really dive too much into that, but I just think it's just crazy that I made a whole video literally breaking down this Carti thing. And it's like back then in general niggas probably listen to like, oh, he's crazy, he's tripping, but now Kanye is literally saying, but it's just like, I don't know, it's low-key like niggas just need to think a little further rather than just being like, oh, you get some money, you good, you know what I mean? It's a little bit deeper than that. It's not just about, okay, like the label wants me to make a song upside down crosses, I'm gonna make it and this gonna put it #1 on the charts. Like even if that was like the top and you're gonna get the most benefit from that, doesn't necessarily mean you should do it. And I'm not saying he's wrong, I'm just saying choosing one thing over the other is obviously you're choosing one pill over the other. Pretty much is what Kanye's saying. And obviously the problem with that is you benefit off the wrong, like they benefit and promote the wrong shit in hip-hop, obviously. And that's kind of the whole point. Like hip-hop's kind of toxic, but it's kind of like fun and people kind of look over it, but people don't realize that like money is going into certain things being promoted over other things pretty much. So without even looking at that and just looking at the money, that's the problem. And just to finish the Carti topic, he was also referring to other like industry people as well, like John Legend and other guys that kind of turned against him because of his political views and stuff like that. And he's saying those guys are weak or soft, like he doesn't really fuck with those guys. And also another thing, he said Carti mentioned Kim K on the album, and he like mentioned his daughter on the story, and he left Kanye off the album, and Kanye basically saying he didn't fuck with that. Like he kind of came and got his collab and then kind of didn't follow through all the way till the end, almost kind of switched sides on him. It's kind of how he feels is what he said in an interview. Another thing people been saying, because I saw Ada Ross say something about this, he said Kanye is tripping, or a lot of people think Kanye is tripping when he's kind of just doing spontaneous or saying random things or posting random things, or he's doing something that's kind of like, what the fuck? You know, people are like, this guy is tweaking, right? However, I think the problem is like people kind of look at him like, oh, Kanye is very influential, he's on a very like high pedestal, you know, with great power comes great responsibility, you can't just do whatever you want. But that also be the problem though. Like a lot of people, they get on these levels and they start thinking like, oh, I gotta chill, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. But the whole reason they're thinking like that is because they're like, well, I have all these resources and all this influence, I don't want to lose it, I don't want to mess it up, so I want to stay within the guidelines so that way I don't fuck it up for myself. Pretty much is what that is. And I think like, say he did do like very terrible things like words wise, or like posted what certain things, it's like, yeah, you know, maybe be a more positive influence and don't like cancel yourself and shit like that. But however though, if you look at it from perspective of like I don't know, like what if it's kind of like the Miley Cyrus thing, I would describe it to like the Miley Cyrus when in the middle of her career she like decided to do something completely different and kind of out of her guidelines, and kind of has people looking at her sideways like, wait, you're Miley Cyrus, like what are you doing this for? Like kind of like just being able to act outside of your realm and act outside of your box. And even if it was something wrong, it's like being able to make mistakes and being able to not be perfect and being able to not be so agenda and being so stuck in I gotta act this way or else, like, you know what I mean, just like freedom. And even if it's like something wrong, it's like low-key, it's like Kanye isn't really asking for people to judge him or look at what he's saying, or just like the Fousey thing, like Fousey's doing a bunch of shit, but he's not asking for niggas to listen to his raps, he's not asking for niggas to look at his crash out, but he's just doing what he's doing. So it's like you're not obligated to look, you're not obligated to like, you know, agree, you know what I mean, basically. So if someone wants to be outside of their realm or make mistakes or feel like, you know, overall as a person and who I am is this, and I'm not necessarily staying in the realm right now, it doesn't necessarily define me, pretty much is what I'm trying to say. I think that's kind of how he feels, like just free speech, he thinks that isn't real, especially when you have influence. And then also just self-expression, he thinks is very hindered and controlled by the media to try to, you know, just like an invisible thing that people don't even realize because they're just so caught into let's be cool or let me stay like this, you know what I mean? But another thing is like, obviously the whole outfit thing, people are like, what the fuck, this guy has problems, like he's wearing this chain, he has this fucking outfit on. And the number one thing about this is the chain and then also the outfit, it goes against a particular group of people, right? And in the video he's saying how there's a lot of things that are being paid for and being being promoted that go against a specific group of people, right? So if there's billions and millions of dollars going into the black community, like going to strip clubs and rapping about killing each other, like literally a dude signing a paperwork that says, yeah, put this out, promote this, traffic this, put this on DSPs of a bunch of people, black people being killed or doing drugs. Like, let's promote that. Like, let's sign off on this, meaning they're putting money and they're putting energy behind it, right? So it's so normalized and people just get it. You know, people just think that's normal or whatever, but people don't realize that there's white people putting in energy into negative things in the black community. That's just normalized, traditionalized. Oh, that's cool. Like, but in reality, it's like, it's damn near the same thing. It's like, if he's wearing an outfit or a chain that's like, oh, that's kind of crazy against this culture, then it kind of makes sense. Like, you know, like just like the White Lives Matter thing and just him wearing the hat back when nobody was fucking with that shit, everything like that. Like, he's doing the opposite of what, there's like, y'all don't even see the control. It's like, even if you don't agree with what he's doing, him just doing the opposite and it catching light and people being like, no, don't do that. That's the problem right there. Why the fuck can't he do the opposite? Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people should not think like that, especially black people should not think like, oh, you can't do the opposite, and if you do, you're against. Like, y'all don't get it, nigga. Like, y'all are like against yourself in a way by just not allowing just freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of, let's just see the perspective of this, or it just has to be like this, or you're not cool, or you're, you know, crazy or whatever. So that's the problem right there. Like, allowing them to control our political agenda and not even realizing that they're controlling our political agenda, because y'all just think, oh, that's the cool thing or that's the right thing. The whole time you should just have an open mind and be like, okay, let me think for myself, pretty much. You know what I mean? And then yeah, I think the whole like wearing their pain while they promote our pain makes a lot of sense. Like, I don't see how you can argue that. You know what I mean? I don't see how you can argue that. I mean, yeah, it's like, oh, that's crazy, it's not, but it's just like, it's only crazy because nobody's fucking doing this shit. Everybody's like so in the matrix of that's not cool to do something like that, but we're like literally have 80,000 white people in the crowd, you know, rapping lyrics about black people killing each other. It's like, that shit is fucking normal. But if Kanye puts on an outfit that's referring to history of, you know, white people dying, it's a problem, like, pretty much, which is kind of crazy if you really think about it. If you look at it that way, but y'all just be like, oh, it's entertainment, like, but nah, bro, niggas gotta stop fucking looking at shit from one lens, pretty much. But off that part, overall, I think he's just speaking on his experience, and it's very like, I think to really wrap all this up and to really make it make sense, it's like freedom of speech, freedom of expression, especially when you're a fucking billionaire. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's when you should have the most power, honestly, right? So when people are kind of like, you know, trying to psychologically control somebody else, and if you don't agree with his views, you don't agree with his views, you know what I mean? But to just be like he's crazy and then go proceed to be like a white person that's rapping about, you know, basically giving energy to things that actually affect the black community in a negative way, and then going to say Kanye is wrong, that's doing something that could affect the other community in a negative way, and not understand that, okay, you know, basically exactly what he's doing is just trying to mirror what he sees from his perspective onto his own community, which actually makes a lot of sense if you think about it, you know what I mean? Because it's literally true, you know what I mean? So yeah, I just want to freaking go over some of the comments, because I'm definitely not the only person that understood this. But I think, like, you know, like, if you're a white person, you're probably not gonna understand unless you like understand, I guess. But like, if you're not really, like, only certain people are gonna fucking understand, and that's the problem, bro. Actually, you know, the number one thing too is just not being afraid to challenge perspectives, and just knowing that a billionaire is having trouble just challenging perspectives should be a fucking red flag right there. Why the fuck can't a billionaire challenge perspective? And it's like, y'all niggas would really rather Kanye be like Michael Jordan or somebody else that just shuts the fuck up and doesn't say anything or question nothing and just goes with everything. It's like, what the fuck? Like, that's so stupid. But I just seen so many headlines, and it's just so default for niggas to just say Kanye's fucking tripping. And mind you, it's a bunch of people who they don't even begin to understand where he's coming from, you know what I mean? It's like, and that's just what you see mostly. And it's like, you just see the control. And there's like a website where you see like media outlets from like an unbiased perspective where it's like fair, but you just start realizing how corrupted media is. They'll put a title, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just so crazy. Like, it's just about having your own mind, just thinking for yourself. Like, just because the headlines say this guy is tripping doesn't necessarily mean you have to agree with that. Him putting the outfit on or saying certain things on the internet, it's like, just because it's that, and everybody, like, why does everybody want to agree with each other so badly? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't get that. Everything on social media and internet, people look at, like, literally, people look at, like, oh, are you being supported? Like, or do people like this? Are people in agreement with this? And they use that to go based on everything. It's like, y'all are like sheep and don't even realize that. I think it would be more better and beneficial for people to just, like, even if everybody in the planet didn't agree with what I'm saying right now, it's like, it's supposed to be like that. You're supposed to think for yourself. You know what I mean? I think that's what Kanye represents. Like, think for yourself. Stop following the media. Stop joining the fucking crowd and being like, this is cool and this isn't. And that's the whole thing with Carti right now. It's like, everybody fuck with Carti now, but everybody was not fucking with Carti before. And now, like, when it's cool, it's cool. Like, and that's the fucking problem. Like, niggas don't think for themselves. And it's like, y'all think y'all are so fucking cool the whole time. Y'all are the least creative people imaginable because y'all see a fucking number behind something and want to jump on the fucking bandwagon. That's bandwagon. Oh yeah, he said something about the Super Bowl and the Grammys too. Is like, it felt like there's like invisible hands around that shit, and it's like, yeah, obviously, but like, some people wouldn't agree. Some people think like, oh, this is like, he's tripping again. But it's just like, bro, it's like, even if there is the people that say he's tripping again, it's just like, bro, like, niggas won't have an open mind and then try to put that onto the people who have an open mind. So just imagine like how counterproductive that is. Like nigga, like, if you have your closed mindset, everything's fucking, nothing's being controlled, nothing's being fucking calculated and influenced, and Kanye's just tripping, then how about you just keep that perspective to yourself? Because you putting out exactly what's already being put out is fucking pointless. You're just a bandwagon. You know what I mean? I don't get that. I don't get why people so strongly want to ride for a bandwagon that's already being pushed. Like, okay, if you just be quiet, nothing changes. So why not try to challenge perspectives and challenge stuff so that way you're not just basically adding to the noise? You know what I mean? Akademiks was asking, he was like, do you think like certain things are being pushed more than others on purpose, or do you think it just happens that way? It's like, do you think it's not? Like, do you really think all the money and all the stuff that's going on, do you really think certain things are not by design? You think everything is just how it happens? Like, you know what I mean? So, you know, you start getting the conspiracy shit, but you just can't argue with those people. Those people who just don't want to try to like look for evidence or proof to like try to like look beyond the box is like I don't know. Like, you just can't do nothing about that. Like, honestly, it's like, you either get it or you don't, honestly. And it's really just about challenging perspectives, having an open mind, realizing that, okay, like, you know, if I woke up on the wrong side of the bed today or felt like saying this, or like, you know, that's freedom of speech, that's freedom of expression. And somebody being like, okay, on this day of 3 weeks ago, you did this, so I'm gonna judge you for life over that, is fucking stupid. Like, you're literally a fucking bot. Literally, you should be open to freedom of expression. And if you don't agree with somebody, you don't agree with somebody. I'll put some comments on the screen, but just by things not being allowed when it comes to expression and freedom of speech should be alarming to people. Like, it shouldn't be like, okay. And then it's just like, just that alone, okay, nobody's walking around with some racist shit on. But it's like, low-key, they low-key are. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know, bro. It's like, like, there are people doing that, too. Like, what the fuck? No, like, honestly, bro, if I was Kanye, bro, I'd say, fuck all that shit, bro. Because, nigga, you know what I mean? If I was a fucking billionaire, nigga, like, what the fuck? I can't do what I want. I can't say what I want. Niggas gonna be like, oh, you wore this chain or you wore this, so you have to be that. It's like, okay, let them niggas talk, bro. You know what I mean? Like, let them do that. And even if he does agree or doesn't agree, bro, it's just like, hey, niggas gonna hate regardless, bro. But I think in reality, he's just intensely kind of showing love for his own community because he's a black person, and y'all keep talking about how he's against these groups of people, but what group of people is he a part of? You know what I mean? What does that have to do with the whole situation? Obviously, it has a lot to do with the whole situation, and there's a lot of things to talk about with his group of people and ways he's probably been affected as, you know, getting to the place he's in now. And he's mentioning how there's certain things being pushed, which we know is the case, And we talked about his wife's situation where there's a lot of shit being pushed on black women, and he has a white woman doing crazy shit, and that's a problem, but the other shit isn't. It's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, I don't get that. And niggas like, are you okay? Like, this and that, but niggas are gonna be like, look at his wife sideways, but if he was with a black girl, they'd be like, oh, this is fine. Like, I just don't get it. Like, niggas are fucking stupid, bro. Like, I don't get it, bro. He's challenging everything that's being challenged on the other end. Like, literally. Yeah, this is a event. Bro, he's challenging everything that's being challenged on the other end. And I think Akademiks understands so much to the point where he's going to interview him again, and he knew he was going to say things that he didn't agree with. I'm not saying I agree with everything Kanye has done or said, but I do agree with freedom of expression and freedom of speech, and especially if you're a fucking billionaire. And also him just challenging the other end because he feels from his perspective, his end in terms of his group of people is being challenged. Because, nigga, if you turn on the radio or you look at the top music video right now, it's probably something negative towards the black community that's being pushed, being paid for. But if he pays money and pushes an agenda against white people, then it's a fucking problem. That makes no goddamn sense, bro. Actually, it doesn't. You know what I mean? And obviously, black people aren't at the top of the leaderboard on the grand scheme of things of the U.S., so it's just fucking obvious. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, obviously, we're, not, at the top in terms of that type of shit. So when somebody is trying to challenge that or is trying to do anything like that, it's just like, why are black people against that? That's so fucking stupid. Obviously, it makes sense why a white person would be against it, but why would black people be against that? Like, y'all are way too comfortable and way too thinking about like, oh, that nigga caveman stupid ass logic, bro. Niggas need to stop fucking falling in line, bro. Get the fuck off the conveyor belt, bitch. Pretty much, bro. Anyways, hey, think for yourself. Yeah, bro, I'm done rambling.